This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories. And welcome to a video that's honestly really special to me. It is about bringing back the Star Wars Expanded Universe. This is more just going to be an overview of this, and it's going to be what I want to happen, and more or less a summary of the petition I've placed on change.org. And ultimately, I'm not going to be going into just how much I love the EU, because I want this to be more just about the cause itself. Trust me, I have a bunch of videos planned to talk about how much I love this continuity, but I don't want to be spending all my time in this video specifically talking about that, besides right now, because I need to at least talk about how much I love it, at least for a minute, because, well, honestly, I just love this continuity. I've read through so many of the books, and I own a vast majority of them, either physically or in audiobook format, and for a good amount of them both. But just to move on to why I want this to happen, well, I think honestly the best thing for me to do is just read directly what I put up on change.org. And, well, honestly, I think that it could be just really great to have this back. Love this continuity, and since we know that Disney is going to be putting in new leadership to Lucasfilm, we have heard that Kathleen Kennedy will be stepping down by the end of this year to the beginning of next year at the latest. So I'm going to skip over just the stuff going over specifically what the EU is and everything that happened with it. But I'll begin with now knowing that there is an imminent change coming in Lucasfilm leadership, it is time to bring back the incredible continuity, not to replace the current continuity, but to be published alongside it. I'll be breaking down what I mean by this, and essentially what I mean is, hey, I want to see both the Legends continuity or EU be published, but I want this to stop the current canon stuff. It'll be great for people who become fans of that, but also I really don't see that not happening. I want to be realistic, and yes, well, a lot of people want just everything Disney to be canceled and only this continuity to exist. I know that's not realistic, so really, I just have to say we have this as the best compromise possible to have this continuity continue, and I think it would be just honestly great. Continuing on, I said the continuity should be run the exact same way that it was before Disney purchased Lucasfilm, where the authors worked together to create stories, with some oversight to make sure that things do not contradict what previously established lore. And, well, I think it's also really important because how it was run before, yeah, there were some messy things. Some books contradicted others, and there was some retcons, but overall the story was really solid. It kept going forward, and even with some slight changes, stories were just honestly always incredible from the stuff that I've read. Yeah, I haven't read some of the more extreme ones. I know that I'm a little fury when I get to the stuff from Children of the Jedi and those books around that, because I have only heard really bad things about that. But for now, honestly, it's really been all great, and I've read through everything essentially in Central Legends and from New Jedi Order onwards, besides the Jaden Core books, which I just picked up a few weeks ago, so I'll eventually get to that. But going back to this, I'm going to talk about how the love of the EU hasn't died down. I don't need to go into all the specifics of what I specifically wrote for the section, since it's mainly about how the Essential Legends collection has been just very popular, and other stuff like Star Wars: The Old Republic and all the game releases, besides KOTOR 2 on the Switch and the Battlefront collection, were also great successes. And we know those were not because those were bad games. It's because, well, the promised DLC for KOTOR 2 was never released, and the Battlefront collection was a giant mess. And finally, I also mentioned Heart of the Jedi, which is an EU book that was never published officially, and it was eventually released to the internet and was sold on Amazon and sold really well. I do regret I wasn't able to pick it up, especially because now it's worth like $250 to $300. And honestly, it's just really impressive just how much love there is for this continuity. And one of the things I hear most when people are talking about what's a good way for them to reach out and try and bring back fans, it is bring back the EU. But going into back to what I was saying specifically about stuff, I honestly truly believe that what I said with the EU being restored, Star Wars fans will be able to experience more stories with the characters they love that really wouldn't be able to exist in the current canon due to them contradicting the new lore. And that specifically means, well, Jason Solo, Anakin Solo, they wouldn't exist because Han and Leia's only kid is Kylo Ren, and as far as we know, Mara Jade doesn't exist, so there will be no Ben Skywalker. There is no Lost Tribe of the Sith because, as I mentioned in the newest Bad Batch novel, they have changed a significant amount about the planet of Kesh, where the Lost Tribe of the Sith was. Yeah, so it looks like there's a good chance Abloth will be brought into Ahsoka, but won't be the same fully. And there's just so many other great characters that cannot exist in this new continuity because there's just no way for them to fit in because of just how different the universes were and the post Endor era was. But going back to what I wrote, I'll be able to tell stories that have an impact on the Star Wars galaxy since this one had to tie into with anything that was not already created before the cancellation of the continuity. And what that means is basically, yeah, the biggest complaint about Star Wars books is the more modern ones is they can't actually do anything really major because they can't do anything major because it's a book and they have to save that for a TV show or a movie. And that is honestly just really disappointing because there were so many major moments that happened, including the death of Chewbacca, the death of Anakin Solo, the death of Mara Jade, and of the fall and eventual death of Jason Solo or his turn to Darth Kaitis. And just as I said, it's honestly just so crazy just how much stuff happened. Yeah, a bunch of deaths I just mentioned. That's something that would never happen to any major characters in modern books, but also the downfall of the New Republic, the rise of the Galactic Alliance, major conflicts, the peace between the New Republic and the Empire, Luke Skywalker getting married, so many other just crazy big moments. Boba Fett becoming Mandalore, that's another thing. So many crazy moments that happen that these would never happen in any books that is in the new canon because they just won't let them. This is such a great opportunity to be able to have Star Wars books where new things can happen and characters can actually develop and grow beyond what's happened in the movies and truly have new adventures where there's genuine stakes and lives at risk. Okay, going back to where it was, this will also serve as a great sign of Disney and Lucasfilm reaching out to the fans who have left due to them no longer caring about the new continuity. And yeah, honestly, really, a lot of people have left. It's really insane just how many, and again, I just truly think this would be such a great way to help And that's the best benefit for Disney. They're going to be reaching out and showing a sign of good faith to be able to go and get some fans back, ones that left because of just how little they care now about Star Wars, which is just truly, truly sad. Then to go into the final stuff, this will be more of a summary of this, but use the hashtag restore the EU and just to be able to push the message out. And I would like you to send this to as many Star Wars fans as you know, and also try to reach out to the larger YouTubers. I've already contacted one of them, and I'm going to be trying to contact some of the other ones. And going into the most important thing I want to talk about with this is please don't behave like the Snyder fans. I know that, that is a way to get it to happen. This is how they got the Snyder Cut to happen, but after that, if you take a look at how the Snyderverse wasn't restored because, well, one, it wasn't super successful, but also, well, that's not really an issue here because of all the stuff I mentioned up earlier. But also, if we take a look at how they're doing it, they just acted really bad and made themselves look terrible. They were harassing people online, they were review bombing all this stuff, and that's a way to win it, and it could seem like that is a good thing to do to be able to get it back. I want to win this the right way, and I don't want to make Star Wars fans look like terrible people because we're not. We're great people overall. Yes, there are some bad people, but every group is going to have that. And it's really important to me that we do not drop to the levels that were done in the Snyder campaign, which is still going on. And it is done the right way. It's done by being good people and showing that we're just massive fans that want this to happen. Yes, you can push it. You can go and tell people about it, ask people to support it, and spread the message. But please, please don't go harass people. Don't go attacking people. And don't go review bombing everything possible from Disney to go and make sure that this gets done. Because, as I said, I want this to be done the right way and not the way that causes the most chaos and controversy because that's no way to truly get it done. That's just going to make the cause look worse, and in the end, it's probably going to make it fail. So please, please do not act like that. But yeah, honestly, it's just a really just honest talk. I really, really want this to happen. I'd love to see this happen, and I just love these books so much. I was spending this entire video when I was not reading off that directly, looking at my collection of EU books that I own physically, and it basically takes up 3 bookshelves worth of stuff. So you'll be seeing a very heavy push from me on stuff about EU content. I'll be re-reviewing a bunch of books that I did as parts of trilogies or series, like the Throne trilogy, which I'll be starting up later this week. And honestly, I truly just want this to happen. So please do it, but please do it the right way. The link to everything will be in the description and in the pinned comment. And truly thank you for supporting this and watching my videos, and I'll see you all in the next episode of Legends and Theories. Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories. Please subscribe, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, check out the video on screen, and may the Force be with you.